In, where your hosts, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as do suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Harris, thank you guys so much for joining us on this afternoon, for watching and or listening. I am excited. You guys are probably like, what does she do? It's a different setup. It's a different setup today. It's a different show, and we have something great in store for each and every one of you. I am seated amongst some very wonderful individuals on this afternoon. But before I tell you who I have here, let me tell you there are three different ways that you can listen to us on today. You can listen to us on the station's website, intellectualradio.com, intellectualradio.com, all one word. You can type that in. And then, of course, I have my Facebook Live feed going on Annette, known as Annette. And then we also a Thanksgiving and Christmas. Even though he was never able to help, he was always enamored with how they would put out these great tasting feasts and make it look so effortless. After college, Chef Wood moved to New York City. Is that right? Okay. And by mere fate, while riding the subway home, he saw an ad for culinary school. Wow. Thinking he had nothing to lose, he decided to take a tour of the school and completely fell in love with the thought of being able to earn a living as a chef. Studying at Monroe College in the Bronx, Chef Wood began to intern at local restaurants. Since returning to Chicago, Chef Wood has worked his way up from dishwasher to sous chef in some of Chicago's best restaurants and now is resident chef for a few downtown high rise buildings. He also can be hired as a private chef, take note, for a client's home or venue for a brunch or dinner party. Chef Wood is excited about bringing his creative Southern fusion food flair experiences to the masses and is diligently working to get a food truck on the Chicago streets within the next few months. So you guys got to look out for that. When he isn't cooking, he's staying active by hitting the gym, playing basketball, and spending time with his two beautiful children. Again, welcome to Mind, Body, and Soul, Chef Wood. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to it.
You know what? I'm a serious foodie, and I always wanted to do a cooking show. I mean, not me as the cook, but I can cook now. Don't you all laugh? I can cook, okay? But we have the private chef here, the professional chef here. So I'm so excited that you're here, and I can't wait, for you to prepare the food because he's got to prepare it live, guys, while we're here in the studio. And those that are here, we're gonna partake. Yeah, this is another dig. I'm rubbing it in to you guys, okay? So we're gonna eat today, and what you know, I asked you on this show though, but we had a good time conversation when we initially met. So talk to us. I mean, I know I read your bio. Talk to us about Chef. I mean, are you eat, sleeping, and drinking food? When you rise up, when you are you always thinking about food? What's a little bit more detail about Chef Wood that we should know?
I would definitely say I have to eat, drink, and sleep food. It's my profession now. So I mean, every single day there's something different that I'm putting on the menu or on the table for individuals or guests and things like that. So it really does require a lot of my time and my creative thinking to kind of do something different every single day. So,
Okay, all right. I love that piece about how you said you watched your mom and grandma, cooking and everything. And I think actually that's so important. I think sometimes we kind of do that without realizing that's what we're doing, watching them, because it's like, okay, but some of us are just ready to eat. But it's good to have that, traditions, handed down. So with that in mind, what kind of traditions have you kept in terms of the cooking from what you've observed?
that's a really good question because just kind of thinking about it, like when my mom would fry chicken or fry fish, she would use like a plastic bag or a paper bag to hold flour and things like that and seasoning. So I still do that to this day. So I remember that back in the day, and I still use that. I actually have it today right now, like flour and plastic bags. So just type simple things like that. Um, I when I was growing up, my mom used to bake cakes a lot, so I would always like stay in the kitchen to lick the bowl behind of the batter and things like that. So just the small things like that I still remember as growing up as a kid that really kind of stuck with me.
Okay. So different techniques and stuff you still use, but that's a good thing. I think a lot of us lick the bowl afterwards. But I think they said nowadays you shouldn't do that or something.
It was probably the same case back then, but we still do it. I haven't had any illnesses from me yet, so we'll continue to do it. So
Because it's so good, especially depending upon what they were preparing. I mean, it just makes your mouth water, and then you're always running in and out of the kitchen, waiting for it to be done. Is it done yet? Or like, are we there yet? All right, well that's good. Well, I'm glad that you're here again. I see you guys watching. I see Apostle Hunt is on. Kayla, thanks for watching with us on today. Michelle Thomas. Apostle said we all licked the bowl. Yes, we did, Apostle. Let's see. You know what? You guys have you see in back of me and maybe to my left some other individuals that are here. I'm actually going to interview while Chef Wood is cooking. I'm going to talk to some more people I have here in the studio. You've seen my post. Evangelist Demetrius Hunt. I believe she's to my right and back of me. Oh, she's to my left and back of me. Excuse me, I had that mixed up. Anywho, she's here and we're going to highlight her and she has a book signing coming up. So we're going to talk to her. And then we're also going to talk to Lady Tennille Jackson. She is in the house on this afternoon. And I'm so excited to be in the midst of these women of God. They're both authors. But, we want to have them share with us on today. So to my left, you see a few more people in the studio audience that are going to partake. And we're grateful that they're here on this afternoon. Elder Kevin McGee, pay him no attention. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad he's here. This young man of God has been a tremendous blessing to mind, body, and soul. And you all know why. Every week he pens a spoken word when he has the opportunity, according to the topic at hand. And we have two spoken word pieces on today that we're going to be playing. Okay, throughout the session. Okay, so thank you in advance. He's good. He has a show here, 12 o'clock noon on Saturdays entitled Connection. So you guys make sure you follow him, support him as well. And then we also have another guest in the studio audience. Janine is here in the house. How are you? Good, good, good. And I didn't ask you guys on air. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay back there? Good, good. Y'all ready to eat? I hope y'all ready to talk too. Okay. So Chef Wood, why don't you tell us what we're going to, what should we experience? What are we going to experience today?
so I went over this about maybe 5 times. I think I sent you like two different things I wanted to make, but I kind of settled on I'm gonna do a couple fried chicken sandwiches. I have a pop up coming up within the next couple of months, a date to be determined, where I'm going to showcase a couple of signature fried chicken sandwiches. So that's what I'm gonna make for you all today. Buttermilk marinated. I'm gonna do like this smoked paprika dredge for the flour, and then I'm gonna top it with like this hot sauce honey butter. So it should be pretty good. Yeah.
My mouth is watering. My mouth is watering right now. And I think eyes would lit up all in back of me and to the side of me, didn't they, when he was talking about the food? This is going to be great. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's see. Why do you, and maybe, no, yeah, I'll ask you now. Why do you think we should look to you for food? Why should we contact Chef Wood and tell us why? Why do you think that?
I that's a good question. A question I've never even been asked before. I think I shouldn't say I think. I know I put out a really, really good creative menu. I'm able to execute that menu to the T, and I just believe that I place food on the table that allows individuals to kind of think back on that, like, man, that was really good, or kind of spark conversation about that at the dinner table, and even weeks or times after that. So I think that's my best answer. Yeah.
I like that answer. And I think he's going to make our tummies happy on today. How about that? All right. So, what we're going to do right now, we're actually going to maybe just take a quick break. I'm going to allow the chef to start it up, because we don't want to wait too late to eat. I'm just so hungry right now. No, we're going to have him cooking, and then I'm going to come back and talk to a few individuals here in the studio. So, you guys do not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Let someone know that we're on. And somebody said, save your plate. No, you should have been here. I love you, but you should have been here. Apostle. All right. Well, that's good. Good stuff. Granny D, thanks for watching. Shannara, we appreciate you. I've acknowledged Kayla. I thought you were going to be here today. That's okay. We love you still. All right. So we're going to go to a break. Let's play a little bit of music, and then we'll come back and have our chef cooking, do a little talking. It is a loaded show. So don't go anywhere, guys. You listen to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette right here on Intellectual Radio. God sent his son, and they called him Jesus. He came to love, to heal and forgive. He bled and died, all to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. God sent his son, and they called him Jesus. Oh, he came to love, to heal and forgive. Mhm. He bled and died, all to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. I'll face tomorrow. Because he lives, all of my fears are gone. And it's because I know who holds the future. Oh, my life is worth the living just because he lives. There's a reason why the enemy and his kingdom has come against you, your family, and friends.
He's trying to stop you from receiving the blessings God has for you by making you give up. Please know that regardless of what you're facing, regardless of how hopeless and defeated you may feel, Jesus lives. And if you put your trust in him, you will have the victory. I know it hurts. Many of you are crying inside and want to give up because of what God has allowed to happen. But please know that it's not over. He holds the future and your victory is coming. The enemy has been defeated and your future is beautiful because he lives. A guest that I recently had, she actually came in and did a wonderful, wonderful concert and in studio. So the music that you hear is none other than Valerie Anderson, Valerie Porter Anderson. Must put that hyphenation in there. So that's what you were listening to. You know, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. And you see, I've switched out. We're going to do a little switching back and forth on today. And I am sitting next to this beautiful, beautiful woman of God who I truly admire. I admire her because of her transparency. I admire her because she tells her story. It's not for personal gain, it is so that she can help somebody else. And I have always, always enjoyed her testimony. We can get to talking about some stuff, and every time she comes on the show, she has me in tears just because of what she has experienced. I think it's important for us to share what we've gone through as much as we can so that it will help somebody else. And so I'm talking about, of course, this beautiful woman. I'm gonna read her bio too. Uh, Evangelist Demetrius Hunt is here. You guys should also remember her because she is the creator of my jingle for Mind, Body, and Soul. I get so excited every time I say I have a jingle. I have a jingle. I have a jingle. I reached out to her probably, let's see, eh, has it been 2 years? Almost 2 years. And I said, I need a jingle. And at that point, I think I'd had my show maybe like 3 years or something by then, 3 or 4 years. And I said, I need a jingle. I didn't give her any words. I just said, can you do something for me? And she came up with the words. And her husband, and I think another someone else helped you with the music to lay it out. And I'm telling you, I love it. And I know you guys love it too because a lot of you start singing the song when you're not even paying attention that you're singing a song. I had on here last week. I'll just tell this little tidbit before I read her bio. My nephew and his wife were here last week, and I laughed so hard because one day he sent me a video. The video was she didn't realize that he was videoing her. She was walking down the street just saying, "Get caught in the net," and then she told, "What are you doing?" And so he sent that video to me. So it's catching. It's all over. That was out there in DC. Yeah, exactly. So it's a little catchy tune, and I appreciate her tremendously for doing that for us. But let's see here, Evangelist Demetrius Hunt. Let me get a bio here for you. Oh my goodness, she was born in Mound Bayou. Tell I'm not from Mississippi, and that's in Mississippi, and she was reared in Chicago, Illinois. Her upbringing has always been in the atmosphere of the Lord under the guidance. At the age of 12, she was baptized at her local church on the west side of Chicago. She rededicated her life to Christ at the age of 18 and submitted to the call of God. She has faithfully served at New Life Covenant Church under the leadership of Pastor John F. Hanna. That's where she's serving now, in Chicago, Illinois. She has a passion for the things of God and preaches his word with conviction. As a result of her diligence, spiritual growth, character, and servant's heart, she was promoted and installed into the office of the evangelist in January of 2009. She earned her bachelor's degree in biblical studies in 2014. She has also written and released two singles in 2016 and 2017. She is also an author. I love her singles. I'm sorry, I had to enter. And yeah, beautiful. Favor of God and More Than a Conqueror. I wake up singing them songs. She is also an author as part of part two book collaborations titled Next Level Shift and Girl Get Your Fight Back.
On July 26, 2019. Is that right? Okay. Demetrius released her debut book titled Screaming from the Inside, detailing her life story of overcoming sexual molestation and physical abuse. She has a heart and compassion for the hurt and abused. She is devoted to helping others with their healing and restoration process through her own personal story and her music. I love when people have such a heart for people. She is a loving wife and mother. Her mission is to do the will of the Father and go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature to bring about salvation, deliverance, and healing. And her scripture that I believe, is her mantra, Luke 4:18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to preach the gospel, good news to the poor. He hath sent me to to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are oppressed. So again, welcome to the studio, Evangelist Demetrius, again, because she is not a newbie here. She's not a novice. So thank you for coming. How are you?
So happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here.
As she scoots into the mic. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here too. And let's talk about this. I have my autographed copy, guys. Screaming from the inside. This is what we want to talk about. We've talked about your singles before. We've talked about your book collaborations before. But this book, I have been waiting, as have so many, for this book. I told you, was on the first time, I was like, there's a book. There has to be a book coming out of this. Look, I sound like Tennille Jackson. She probably running back there shaking her head. Because your story is, and I've said this before. Sometimes we go through things and we think that it's just us or it's just for us. No, it's for others. And I'm sure that's what Tennille preaches. Tell your story. And then some people, they have to get beyond the being fearful and this, that, and the other. But tell us how you overcame that to even get into penning this book.
Overcoming, wow. It was a process. It took years. It was a process of, like you said, facing your fears, facing your dysfunctions um, when no one else will. When you see things in your family, when you see things about yourself that you don't like, and then you have to begin to acknowledge those things, face them, and overcome them. So, acknowledgement was the first thing. Acknowledging the fact that, hey, you're hurt, you're broken, you need healing. Um, you need to overcome this. But for many years, I did not even know what I was dealing with because I didn't have anyone to guide me through that process. It literally took God to show me this is why you're the way that you are. This is why, I allowed what had happened to me to turn me into someone who I was not, who he had not created me to be. And that became a problem in my life. It affected my relationships. It affected with, how I dealt with people and um just all types of things. And so once he brought it to me, it's like, this is why you're having these issues. I began to acknowledge it and I began to ask him to heal me. And what is the process of healing? And so, how many know that is just not an easy thing to do? And when it's other people involved. So there's a process of forgiveness, there's a process of healing, um, forgiving yourself for certain things, forgiving others for certain things. So it's not something that happens in a day. It's not something that happens in a week. I'm still going through, now that I'm in my overcoming season, I'm still, I still have to overcome every single day. And so it's not as much as a struggle anymore because, like I said, I'm healed. My mission now is to make sure others are helped, and that we tell our stories, and that I'm as transparent as I can be so that people can receive their healing. So
Beautiful. That was well said. And I like when you talked about it's a process, continual process. That's just like salvation. It's you haven't arrived. I mean, it's a continual process, and I think that's important to get that across to people, and that will help them even when they're dealing with situations or whatever, and they not feeling that they're all alone, or I'm the only one this has happened to, or what have you. I think it'll help them get through better. So, how long did it take you to write this? You said, I mean, actually write this book.
I began writing it, I believe, the end of like November 2018. And that was difficult because I fought against it for a minute. I really didn't want to write it. And then when you're writing something, you have to make sure you know what audience you're targeting and what angle you want to come from. And so my story isn't about, bashing anyone or anything like that. It's really about overcoming and healing. So I started it in like November, and then of course I finished it. We're in August, right? So I finished it in June because I had part of my story because I had already written in two collaborations. So it wasn't a matter of I didn't know what to write. It was more of a matter of getting through it. Oh, because I got to a point in the book where it was very difficult. And I literally, and God was like, write it. I need you to put it down. And he began to deal with me. He was like, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. This is greater than you. And then he asked me to do it for someone else. And that's what broke me. And there were certain parts that I got into, and I written it down, and I was typing, and then I literally had to put the book away for a whole month. I could not go. I wept. I cried. I mean, I I saw God like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. This is too much. But I had gotten to a point where I had literally let it all out, the parts that I needed to let out, the actual story. And so after I got the actual story out, and as you all would see, it's broken up in parts. It's the story, it's the healing, and it's the overcomer. And so after I finished the story part, I had to take a break. I had to take a break. And so it took from the end of November to June to get it out. So
Okay. All right. Oh. Still getting it out, huh? Still getting it out. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing because obviously it didn't take you as long, because sometimes it takes people some years sometimes to pen a book. But again, this was your story, so you had the material. Like you said, it was just getting it out and then saying yes.
it's a quick read. It's not a long book because my what I wanted to do, I didn't want it to be drawn out. I wanted people to get the point. Okay, you have a story, but you can heal from it and you can overcome. So I didn't want to, because I could have put a whole bunch, I could have went into a whole lot of things, but I didn't want that. I really wanted people to get, the gist of the story and be able to relate to it, with their own things, abuse or whatever it is that they've been through. And then, hey, you went through that, but look, you can heal from it and you can overcome it. So it's a very quick read. My daughter Kayla, she read it in about 40 minutes. And I've been getting, feedback like it made you want more. It want like, what happened next? What happened next? That's what I got from my oldest daughter as well. Like, and she said it encouraged her because she was dealing with something. Now she hasn't been through what I've been through, but you know how we been through things in life, and she was dealing with something. And she said, but after she read my story, she was encouraged because she's like, wow, my mom came over all of this. So I can be encouraged today, so
And that's probably, let me look back here. That's probably the whole purpose of a book, right?
Yep, I'm still shaking my head the
Okay.
entire time.
Right. That would be the purpose. And so that obviously you were accomplishing that with this book. And so there'll be more books. There will be more books. I'm speaking that. Speaking that. All right. Screaming from the inside and this beautiful cover. I'm telling you, this cover here is enough to grab you to say, okay, I need to purchase this book.
That's exactly what I wanted. God gave me the vision. He showed me. I called the person that I knew. His name is Van Smith, a college student, 20 years old, and he's an artist. I called him. He was away at school and all the way in Alabama. Told him over the phone what I wanted. He visualized what I wanted, and that's what he came up with.
Are you serious? Wow, amazing. Okay, so that speaks to his talent and obviously the connection that the Lord needed you to have to get this cover out. This is amazing. Shout out to Van. Okay, what? Thank you, young man, for what you did. Screaming from the inside, overcoming molestation and sexual abuse. You have an event coming up this weekend that your book signing. Is that correct? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so this Saturday, August 10th from 2 to 5 p.m., I will be having my official book launch and book signing. So I would love for you all that are listening on today to come out and join me. We're going to have some sweet treats and we're going to have some fellowship. And I'm going to sign books. I'm going to talk a little and, uh, and I'm going to give away some prizes. So just come on out and meet us. We will be at Revival Fellowship Church on the west side of Chicago, 2810 West Washington Boulevard, where that's my former pastor, Pastor John Jackson, who gave me away in my wedding when I married my husband. So I'll be using their facility for my book signing, and I am so excited. I would love to see you all there. I will have some books on hand for those of you that have not purchased your books. I know a lot of you all have already purchased your books from through my publishing company. But if you haven't, come out this Saturday, meet me there, and we're just gonna have a good time and celebrate what God has done.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it begins at 2 o'clock, you said? 2 o'clock. Revival Fellowship, Church of God in Christ, right? All right, that's on the west side, 2810 West Washington. You guys, please make sure you meet her. Watch out for her posts on Facebook. She's been posting, and we are going to make sure we share it as well. So, this is definitely a book you need to have in your library. If you've listened again to Evangelist Hunt when she was on my show prior, it kind of the show what she talked about on the show is kind of summarized in this book, pretty much. But you please, please support her. Please get to the book signing if you can. If you just need to purchase the book from, if you can't get there on Saturday, she has a way. What's your website again?
Um,
Or the way they can purchase the book?
the way you can purchase the book. Okay, so it's on my Facebook page. You can go to my page at Demetrius Hunt, or you can go to Zulon Publishing, and that's XULON and you can find it there. It's also available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, but I prefer you to go to my publishing company, Zulon Publishing. You can go right to my page, Demetrius Hunt, or you can go to my Instagram page as well as and go into my bio. The link is there, and pull it up and the link goes directly to my book. The book is only $10, and I promise you it will bless you. If you have dealt with any form of abuse, manipulation, whether sexual abuse, whether physical, whether mental, emotional, this is the book for you. If you're looking to be healed, this is the book for you. If you've been trying to figure out how to overcome, this is the book for you. And there are tools in this book to help you overcome. There are tools in this book to get you healed. God wants you healed. God wants your family healed. And so get the book. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Well, you answered my last question. What do you want people to get out of this? Thank you for that. Yes, please get the book, you guys. You do not want to miss this at all, and you can be on this wave that she has going now because she's got a wave. Go to Zulon, XULON Publishing, and purchase the book. That is where she prefer you to purchase it. Okay, all right. So this is great stuff. I thank you again for joining us on today. She's not going anywhere, guys, but we're gonna kind of move on a little bit. I'm smelling some stuff over to my left, over there. The chef is cooking up some stuff. He's moving around over there. I'll show you him in a bit. But we're excited. She just got through talking about spiritual food. We're gonna have some natural food a little bit later, but we're gonna blend all this together. Okay, we're gonna do this. Hope you guys are enjoying this today. My y'all okay back there? Y'all still hungry? Y'all good? We're gonna actually take a quick break here, and you know what? If we could, let's see. I'm not sure if my producer has any of the spoken words ready or not. If if he does, he can play. Okay. So we'll take a quick break. We'll figure that out. Okay, guys. Listen.
You told me to be strong, never giving in. You promised you'd always be with me. Overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. Told me to be strong, never I promised you always be with me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm more than a conqueror. More than a conqueror. I can do, yes I can do all things. Christ is strengthens me. More than a conqueror. Yes I am. More than a conqueror. I can do, yes I can do all things. Christ is strengthens me. He's given me the power. He's given me authority. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm more than a conqueror. More than a conqueror. I'm breaking, I'm breaking out, I'm coming over.
Do you smell what the wood is cooking? Are you ready to sample delectable delicacies that are often imitated but never duplicated? Cooking that has titillated your taste buds and allowed you to have out of body experiences while your palate and waking your appetite, which after you have eaten, you would never allow that appetite to fall asleep again. So if you smell what the wood is cooking, then prepare to dine on food that is fine and experience a little taste of heaven. Come and dine at the table, strike up a conversation, talk about current events as you enjoy passionate cooking at its best. Meats, vegetables, pastries, and anything else that tickles your fancy can be yours. Food fit for royals and does what food is designed to do: make you happy.
Whew, I'm happy after that poem. Thank you, Elder McGee. You know, I always say you can make a happy plate. We're back. You listen to Mind, Body, and Soul with the Net. We're here on Intellectual Radio. I'm your host, Annette Harris. In case you didn't know, in case you didn't remember who I was, I am she. And we are here this afternoon having a different segment on today. I've maneuvered over to where our chef is putting on this fabulous feast for us on today. And I just want you guys to kind of see what he was doing. But let me do this. Some of you came in after I read his bio. I'm going to read his bio really, really quick again. Chef Wood Porter. He's a private chef and founder of hashtag Wood is Cooking private chef and catering company. He was born and raised in Bellwood, Illinois, and he grew up watching his mom, grandma, and aunts in the kitchen preparing food for Fish Fry Fridays, Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Even though he was never able to help cook, he was always enamored with how they would put out these great tasting feasts and make it look so effortless. After college, Chef moved to New York City, and by mere fate, while riding the subway home, he saw an ad for culinary school. Thinking he had nothing to lose, he decided to take a tour of the school and completely fell in love with the thought of being able to earn a living as a chef. Thank God for that ad he saw. Studying at Monroe College in the Bronx, Chef Wood began to intern at local restaurants to Chicago. Chef Wood has worked his way up from dishwasher to sous chef in some of Chicago's best restaurants and now is resident chef for a few downtown high rise buildings. He also can be hired as a private chef for a client's home or venue for a brunch or dinner party. He's excited about bringing his creative Southern fusion food flair experiences to the masses and is diligently working to get a food truck in the next few months. When he isn't cooking, he's staying active by hitting the gym. Can't you tell? Playing basketball. No, let me stop. Playing basketball and spending time with his two beautiful children. Chef Wood is in the house. I know I'm probably embarrassing you, aren't I? You're well, I'm so glad you're here. You know what? I wanted to ask you. We mentioned in your bio about you watching your mom and grandma and your aunts. What uh, are they? What are thoughts about you cooking and your food?
Well, my grandma is she's passed away, but my mom, it's funny. She's still of the mind state where they're doing all the cooking. Like I'm still not quite accepted into the family cooking tree just yet, but I'm slowly trying to change that over the next couple of holidays and events. But yeah. So they're real particular about that group that they have for sure.
Maybe because you have a Y chromosome. I don't know. Maybe if you okay, all right. But that's okay though. I mean, you know what? You are definitely, wowing people, especially working in restaurants. What was your experience with working in restaurants? Is that what kind of made you want to become a private chef, or how did that come about?
You know what? It didn't make me become a private chef. I believe it helped me, it groomed me to become a private chef. I think working at a restaurant was a necessity for me. I started at the bottom, literally. I started as a dishwasher. I walked into a restaurant. I was like, I really want to cook, and he's like, well, I don't have any cooking positions open for you, but you can threw me an apron and started at the dishwasher. And literally, maybe within 2 or 3 weeks, I got on the line, and it just kind of went from there. So I feel like my evolution as a cook and as a chef, it started at the ground, and now I'm at a point where I'm able to kind of create my own menus and put different things on a plate that kind of that speak to my personality and things like that.
And so I mean, because I saw Southern fusion in there, so you kind of kick it in. What are some of your other dishes? I know you said you're going to prepare the chicken sandwich for us today, which is what he's going to be highlighting and focusing on, especially with his food truck that is going to be coming out. What are some other dishes that you love preparing that people kind of rave over?
Um, one of the one I love shrimp and grits, and what's funny is that a couple days ago I was in an Uber, and that's how you and I met. We I was This guy asked me like, what's some things that you like to cook, and I'm like, I like shrimp and grits and chicken and waffles and things like that. And he's like, that's it, and I could make that, and I laughed at it or whatever, but it really is like everyone can make shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles. It's just the spin and the personality that you put on your own dish. I love making a good steak. I come up with this. I'm gonna do actually Sunday. This ribeye. I'm gonna slice it over like some mashed potato, Parmesan mashed potatoes. I'm gonna make like this whiskey butter sauce to go on top of that. So it's just like
Wait a minute. What time should I be there? Oh, sorry.
it's at 7 o'clock. So I'll see if we can put an extra on the flour and or even while
And I'm ordering something or I'm looking at something. I'm like, I can make that. Hired to do a cooking show. Oh, you guys are hilarious on here. I see you, Sir William and Demetris. Pamela Demetris about her book, Screaming from the Inside. Oh my God, you have to get the book. Go to XULON Publishing to order the Bible Fellowship Church of God in Christ, 2810 West Washington. Open up his doors for her. She's got S. It's a different way to spell it. Hunt. All right. So make sure you guys look her up. You gave your life, and now flame beyond what's my eyes see. That's when you know you set the favor of God. Ooh. Oh, it's favor, your immeasurable favor, unexplainable favor, undeniable favor. It's the favor of God. It's favor, your immeasurable favor, indescribable favor, unmistakable favor. It's the favor of God. Oh, yes, He is gracious, gracious, mercy, and love for me. He is love, cannot be denied. Beyond what's that's when you know, you know, you know, you know the favor of God. For it is unmeasurable, can't explain it, no denial, favor can't explain it, no mistake. It's the favor of God, for He has a plan for you, a plan of joy and peace to give you everything you need. For He has a plan for you, oh yes, of joy and peace to give you. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, you listen to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I'm your host, Annette Harris. You remember me? I'm excited. I'm so pumped today, as you guys can kind of tell. I'm really trying to keep it under, a little bit. And then we try to come here. We try to bring you great shows, great guests, their projects, whatever they have going forward. We're trying to promote them and encourage them to move on and press on. So when you guys see my guests on, please support them. Please support them. We give out their websites, their information, so that you will be able to remember, because sometimes you say it, you may not remember. So we try to put them in the comment section as well. So with that being said, Dimitri, I don't know if you're on or not, but if you could kind of put some of this information in for me, I would really appreciate it. All right. So you guys see that I've switched out again, and I have a wonderful guest this afternoon with me. And I've known, how long we known each other? Has been, yeah, Something.
Right. No, no. I was saying about a decade, probably about 7, 8 years or so.
Something like that, something like that. And as long as I've known her, she has wore probably maybe about 20 hats. You know, she just does everything. She does everything. And you know what? One thing, and she's humble. She's humble with it, and I love it because, and I'm gonna say this. I don't know if she's gonna get me or not, but she is actually a pastor's wife. She's a first lady. You know, a lot of times people when they get in those positions, they want you to know that that's what they do or what their title is. She doesn't even focus on that. And I had to learn. I mean, I knew she was a pastor. Well, when I first met her, I don't think he was a pastor yet. But the other things that she does, that's kind of what I was focused on. The books. I knew she was the book lady. She's the book lady, which is important because we're in such social media and we're in internet whatever, and people have kind of like dismissed books, so to speak. I used to be an avid book reader. Now you hear everybody say used to, okay? And I would love to read. I would love to read. So I love how you continue to push that avenue. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me read her bio. I'm I'm gonna do it anyway. She told me I don't have to. That means I'm really gonna do it. Okay. Tennille M. Jackson is an AWE inspiring coach who specializes in educating and empowering authors, women, and entrepreneurs. That's what AWE stands for. Y'all got that? Okay. She is also a national and international award winning author with more than 10 published books. Jackson is the founder of Artists Promoting Success, an organization that teaches indies, and I learned that's independent artists, the business of entrepreneur. That's an inside joke she and I have. The business of entrepreneurship and provides multiple opportunities for exposure. Within this conglomerate is a publishing company, online bookstore, and writer society. There's also an annual book contest and awards gala to honor indies. Additionally, Tonil is the creator of hashtag I'm glad to be a woman. Of course, men, you can't join that. Sorry. A movement purpose to empower women across the globe. She's been recognized by CBS Chicago as one of 5 indie Chicago authors and publishers to watch out for. Shorty magazine named her one of 18 most powerful women on the south side of Chicago. Now, they had nothing to do with your height, right? Okay, all right. She was featured as someone you should know in Voyage Chicago magazine and appeared on WVON radio, Embassy 5 Chicago, and a host of other media platforms. For more on Mrs. Jackson or her organizations, and we're going to put this in the comment section too. You can visit weareaps.com or I'm glad to be a woman.com. So welcome again to Mind, Body, and Soul to Neil Jackson. You doing good?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Right. Well, I thank you for coming on today. You have some great things that I talked about all the hats she wears. Oh my God, she's got some great things happening, coming out, things that she got stuff working on while she's sitting right here. She's always moving. And I'm saying that because she's someone said yes, phenomenal woman. And I agree with that. Let's talk about Tennille. Let's talk about who you are. I know I read your bio. Who you want others to see. Um, did I say that right? What do you want them to see about Tennille?
I always tell people before all of that, I'm a mama first. So I have 4 phenomenal girls. They are 10, 13, 14, and 16. So it's really crazy at my house. I think I put a post on Facebook the other day asking for prayer because their lives are getting as booked as mine. So to try to manage all of that is crazy. My oldest daughter is a junior at South Shore. The next one is a freshman at Kenwood. The next one is about to graduate this year. So it's just really kind of crazy in the Jackson household right now. But that's really who I am first and foremost. Like they know that. So it's important to me to always maintain that mother-daughter relationship. So above all, that's who I am first.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm not a parent, but I love that. I love how you put your children, and then I see the posts, and I hear you talk about them and everything, and how important they are, and they following in her steps and making their own footsteps too. They are power hitters themselves, and you have you started this group. I'm glad to be a woman. You have women in your house, so you have to show them, talk to them. Let's kind of stay on that vein, talking about parents. How difficult is it, or is it difficult to raise these four young women? And they're not babies anymore. You just gave me their ages. I'm like, wow, they're really growing up.
Like by the end of this year, all of them, so their birthdays are October, November, December, and January. Yeah, so it's
How did they do that? Okay.
yeah. So it's a whole, and then so you have all of those different personalities going on at the same time. But I will say this, God does every purpose. And so even though I thought when they were going to lose my mind, because it's a lot to have a lot of children and they're that close together in age, right? But one of the things it did was prepare me for leadership. And I didn't realize at the time. And that's why I tell all moms, like, don't underestimate being a mother because it's teaching you something that you don't know. And so I think you referenced, I'm glad to be a woman. Like even with that, my mothership, I just penned a new term, mothership. But being a mother helped me to manage all of these different women and all of these different personalities and knowing how to make each woman feel special. And so, like for me, I know that character development is a gift that God gave me, being able to what's in each person, and that then also helps me with being an editor or a ghostwriter or an author or a publisher, because you have to see somebody's work and see where to take it or where they're trying to go with it, right? So it's like that underlying characteristic of being able to develop people has helped me in so many different avenues of my life.
Okay. All right. Well, the Lord knows how to do it, right? So He gave you those four girls for a reason. Maybe she put S parentheses back there behind reasons. That's wonderful. Well, you have let's see. I've already talked about your online bookstore. You actually had a physical location prior. Why is it so important? Why are bookstores so important? Why are books so important to you? Let's maybe we can start there. Is this something that maybe in your background you just always love books? You want to keep it, fluent here. You want to keep it going and not allow it to be sucked up by the internet. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I will tell you this, and people always laugh when I say this. I didn't like reading before I became an author. I was not, you'll always hear authors say, like, you, in order to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader, and that may generically be true. It just was not my testimony. Like, yes, I have a bachelor's degree and I have a master's degree, but I only read for school. I did not read for pleasure. And so I always say God has a sense of humor. And so, like, once I penned my first title, then I had to read, because you had to know the industry, you had to do all of this different research. And so from there, everything that I do now is literally inclined, from, publishing to editing to the bookstore to book reviewing. And so it's like I used to maybe read 4 books a year, maybe. Now I read a minimum of 4 books a month. Like every week, I'm reading a book, and that's for somebody else. That's not talking about manuscripts and things like that. So I think that reading is so important. And if I can really quickly, yesterday I did a show in honor of Toni Morrison. We lost her, and that was really one of my major influences from a literary standpoint. And I share how when I was in college, I want to say I was a freshman or a sophomore at DePaul, and I read her book, The Bluest Eye, for the first time, and just the impact that her words had on me, because at that time I was struggling with low self-esteem. And so I heavily identify with her main character. And I think that that's the power of words. I was listening to Demetrius and how she was sharing her story. We all have a story. And I always say that God does not give you your story for you. He gives you your story to help somebody else. And so when we hold on to that, then you're kind of being selfish with your journey. So you have to understand that your journey is to help somebody else go through the same way that you got through. So
Oh, I love that. So it's key. It's important. We were coming along. We had the Encyclopedia Britannica, and
The people going around selling them and everything. The big old heavy. Oh, I remember the big heavy books. I'm getting flashbacks right now. But but it was. Of course, at that time, it's what we had. Nowadays you can just hop on. I was just talking to actually, they had to do a little talk today to some of the young people, and we were talking about what they want to do in life, and I initially started talking to them about their thoughts and how they need to control their thoughts and think positive and everything. But I told them when I started asking them what they wanted to do, when they got older, they started telling me different things. I said, so what are you going to do to get there? You can't just say, okay, I just want to be this and I want to be that. You have to do something. And then I told them, I said, do some research. I said, what's the quickest way to do research now? Google. I said, exactly. So, that's where we are now. Yeah, I agree with you saying that there are power in words. Definitely. Definitely. And one book that we know that will never ever go out of style is what?
The Bible, absolutely.
Why do you say that?
It's the word of God, and the word of God will always stand. And so, regardless of what you're going through, and regardless of how many times they translate it, regardless of how they put it on different apps, it's always going to stand the test of time.
Definitely. I agree. And then there are different versions because some people say, I can't read the King James. It's too many these and thous and da 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 da. Or there are other versions that'll help you to understand what's going on. I like to, even when I do, when I'm doing my devotion, I like to hop over to the NLT, a lot of times to, kind of compare or see how it's being said over there. And sometimes it jumps out at me. So, yeah, yeah. But reading it, it is fundamental. It is very important. Do you get, before I go to Facebook Live, because I see some comments on here, do you get pushback? Maybe saying that you are too old fashioned talking about books and pushing books and encouraging people to write, read. What kind of feedback do you get?
Well, you know what? Like, I always tell people I'm an acquired taste. So I understand that I'm not for everybody. And what I will say is I got the most pushback when I had my bookstore inside of Ford City Mall. Because people were, why would you have a bookstore? People don't read anymore. And we were there successfully for 2 years. And so, and then we transferred and we moved to 26 in Lawndale. But that's really the only pushback that I got, was having that physical brick and mortar. And it was really from people who didn't understand. And so in terms of writing their own story, no, I get so many calls and inboxes, and how can I write my own? I think the biggest thing is people don't understand how the industry works. They don't understand what it takes, and everybody wants everything for free 99. And so when you put a price tag to your time, they don't understand that part. But in terms of pushback, no, I get more pushback evangelizing the word of God than I do for trying to encourage someone to read. Absolutely.
Is that right? Wow. 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 Okay. All right. What is your, oh my goodness. How many, can I ask this question? How many authors have you, have come through the ranks and files of Tennille Jackson?
I, I know it's been at least 12. I had APS publishing was formed in 2014. And so we, with our gala, like every year, I know I honor the current year authors. But I wasn't doing it from 2014 for the first 3 years. So I want to, it's been at least a dozen. So don't ask me their names because I don't remember everybody, but it's been at least a dozen. And I have helped people from different states as well. So it's not just Chicago. Like, I will say, I remember my first author, she was from Mississippi, and we did a standing conference call for 8 months. We did it once a month for 8 months to help get her story written. But like, one of my authors this year that's being honored is out of Texas. And so it's not just Chicago that I publish, just like it's not just Chicago that I work with, because we travel. And so whatever it is that I do, it is a global, type of movement and not just local.
Okay, I love that. So you guys keep that in mind. You that are out there contemplating writing your book, writing your story, sharing your journey. Tania Jackson. I know I just gave her something else. She had 30 more hats, she gonna have to wear. But she's she put forth excellence in what she does, and she's really particular. Especially with the vocabulary and the words and your language, she's gonna get you. Uh, in a good way. In a good way. Okay. I don't want you guys to be scared or discouraged. But I or anyone else on this live feed are saying, "Hey, I want to write my book. I want to do it. You've encouraged me today. What kind of steps will you take individuals through? I know there are probably questions that you want to ask them, and tell us about that. If someone came to you today,
So here's the thing. If they came to me today, I am actually transitioning. So my publishing company will still be intact. However, I am going to be hiring editors and graphic designers because I'm expanding, which is one of the reasons why I closed the physical brick and mortar, because I need to be more mobile. And it kind of has to do with the all inspiring coach, right? So I will actually be traveling next year on tour, doing different things with that in that regard. And so I literally am only working hands on with 4 individuals to publish. But what I do, what the process is I typically, there's a consultation. So we need to know where you are in the process, because there are many times when people think that they're ready and they're not ready. In fact, I was just talking to a sister couple, I think it was yesterday. And the thing about it was, I tell them a part of the publishing process is actually marketing. Most people don't think about marketing as being part of the publishing process, but especially if you're going to self publish, you want to be thinking about the end at the beginning. And so you don't want to wait until you've hit that publish button before you start thinking about marketing. And so in either case, we kind of create this literary blueprint, or at least we see where you are in the process, what your book is about, what you may need help with, different steps. So do you need an editor within myself? Because everyone needs an editor. People up, not live, because I won't do it live. But if I see a book that does not have a synopsis, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, because it basically communicates the fact that the author is conceited enough to think that, about. Number two is the easiest way to lose a sale, because if I pick up your book and I have no clue what it's about, I'm not going to read through 100 pages. I'm not going to read through the first chapter. I'm not going to read through the introduction. And so when you could just take 10 minutes to summarize your book, that's the easiest way to lose a sale. So every book should have a synopsis written on the back of the book. So that's a free tip. In terms of my favorite part, it really depends on the book. It really depends on the genre. And so like for poetry, I love spoken word. And so like I do actually listen to Elder Kevin McGee's show on Saturdays, because he, I think, is a really great poet. I don't know what he's waiting for to get his books out. But in either case, like there's a difference between poetry and spoken word. And so I love the flow of a spoken word piece. In terms of nonfiction, it depends on if we're doing self-help, but like the different types of advice, because even though, you can say it's the same topic, everybody has their own spin to it. So I love to see what you're going to tell me differently about this, about love, than this person does. So, and then with fiction, I love a person's creativity, because you really get to see a person's mind. So whether it's mystery or however it's going to unfold, I love to see the way that the author takes their creativity to unfold a story.
wow, that was great. Because I always say in terms of when I'm getting ready to interview someone, or people are referring people to me that are authors, or the authors themselves contact me, can I come on or something? Okay, give me your material because I need to read it. But you know what I always look at? The forward.
But see, here's the thing. Every book does not have a forward. True. So if it doesn't have a forward, what do you look at?
Well, that's the thing. Actually, honestly, I haven't come across some, any that didn't have forwards. So far that's been working for me. But I guess I say the four because the four is normally written by somebody else, correct? See, to me that tells me something about you, because number one, the person took time to write it, and they're telling me about you from their perspective. So I need to hear what somebody else is saying about you. Now you can tell me something all day long about yourself. I'm grand, I'm this, I'm that, da da da. But I need to hear what somebody else is saying about you. So that's what grabs me. So yeah, so far I haven't come across any books that don't have forewords.
Because none of my books have forewords. I'm thinking anthology Learning to Love Me that had a forward, but that was only because it was an anthology. It's all of these different women, but I don't think I'm thinking through all of. I don't think any of my books have forwards. None of them do.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta get you. I gotta get you my not on another time or a short one. I was gonna give you the novel, but I'll give you a shorter one to read through. Yeah, but none of my books have forwards.
So, if with that in mind, what do you suggest that Annette does? Because that I need to know what somebody else is saying about you. That's what I need to know. Or should I even take the time to look at this book and even have you on my show? I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, that's what the synopsis does, right? So, like, the synopsis in a roundabout way speaks on your behalf because it talks about the book. And most people may have an editor to write their synopsis, or even if they do, they're writing it from the third person, right? And so, if it's written from the third person, then it reads differently because most people, when you talk about yourself in the third person, you don't describe yourself the same using she as you would I. I mean, just think about it. Like if somebody asked you to describe Annette, if I said Annette, who are you? When you come up with I, it may make you a little bit more timid or shy because you're like, I don't really know what I do. But if someone else was to describe you, then you kind of open up your mind a little more. And so to me, that's the way that the synopsis does read. So if someone asks you own way, which you may not have time for, which is Google it. I always tell people, do your research, right? So Google it and see what other people are saying about you.
Okay. All right. So that's my tip. If I don't find a forward, thank you very much for that. Thank you. I'll go to the synopsis. Okay, Facebook. I told you I was coming over here. Let me do this because something is smelling good. It's smelling good. It's okay. I'm sorry. Just made a song. All right. So let's see. Demetria. Oh, thank you. She's good. Let me come back and read that, Demetria. Let's see. Michelle Thomas says people still read. We just read from our phones or tablets. I'm getting back to actual book reading. I miss the feel of a book in my hand. And some people are like that because you still have the Kindle, people read on there or whatever. But yeah, actual book. That's what I'm used to when I was growing up. So I need to get back to that. Tammy McClinton, how are you, First Lady? Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Let's see here. Can we just say this is good stuff? She's amazing. She's very amazing, isn't she? Brandy is on. Thank you for watching. Demetra says she reads the synopsis first. Brandy says this is good information for any author. Tell us right quick what the book is about before asking for my coins. And she said, laugh out loud. And that's how I am. Yeah, definitely. Doretha Stafford is on. And another question from Demetria says, do you feel it is better to write an autobiography or semi autobiographical book written in third person?
Hmm, that's a great question, Dimitri. That's Demetria. That sounds like Demetria. Um, yeah, no, but it's a great question. I think it really depends on what the purpose of your writing is, right? I was talking to Demetrius and I was saying how when you write a story about yourself, depending on what you're about to divulge, it may be too deep for you to, relive those moments because they do trigger things, right? So sometimes you may end up doing, how did she say, a semi autobiographical. So, like, whether you want to call it semi autobiographical or if you want to call it narrative fiction, meaning that you kind of change the names of the actual people involved to protect the innocence, so to speak. And sometimes that is better for people because it allows you to embellish a little bit. So that way you don't have to divulge everything. So it really depends on what the purpose of the story is.
Excellent. That's why she's international, national award winning author. Because all this knowledge, I thank God for you, hon. I really do. I really do. I thank God because you're helping so many people. You are helping so I know, and I know you know that. Elder McGee says here, oh, he's got a nice comment here. I am probably the only person who has an active library card. You probably are. Oh, okay. Is that right? Okay. Well, go ahead. He also got a card today. Huh? Wait, I think I still have. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know if I still have it or not. But let me say this before we go into the food. Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Krista Williams, I see you on. Thank you very much. All that and a great mommy too. Deidre says yes, definitely. And it looks like Tanil is a woman on the move for greatness. Indeed, she is. Eric Taberball, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. I'm scrolling up, guys. I missed a lot of you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I don't want to take it for granted that you guys are on here because I appreciate your support. Pamela says a wealth of knowledge. I have a library card too. Laugh out loud. Y'all making me feel like a outcast or something. I think I need to go and get me one today. Well, and I'm guilty. We're in this fast-paced society, internet. I hop on there in a minute, or something like that. That's hey, hey, okay. In my pre-show on today, I did mention that we are having two books that we're going to give away. Autographed, excuse me. What should she said earlier? Autograph copy. Did you guys get a chance to listen to and or see the show on Friday? We did a special segment with Malcolm Brown, a young millennial inspirational speaker, professional entrepreneur, and author of 10 Miles to Your Destiny. Now, if I can say this, that was a powerful session. Now, I will say this. I didn't get a chance to read his book before the session. I had just gotten it like the day before because I'm all over the place. So I didn't get a chance to read it. But that young man sat in there and he, without divulging everything, because we want you to buy the book, you were able to grasp it. You were able to grab it. And I want to encourage you guys because before he left us with a few free autograph copies of the book. And I am going to have Demetria Brand Triplet to go ahead and post the questions so that you can win one of these books. And it is, I think it's going to be in relation to the video. So hopefully you listen to the show that we had so that you can answer these questions. So she has here, want to win an autographed copy of the book. What did you put on here? Oh, no. The name of the book is 10 Miles to Your Destiny, Pressing Toward the Mark by Malcolm Brown. All right. So we have a link in here. So what I want you to do, I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you some time. You don't have to do it by the end of the show today. So if you did not get a chance to listen to the live feed, we'll give you a chance to do that. Here are the rules. Watch the replay of Friday's session with Malcolm Brown. Don't do it now because you're on live with me. Do it later. Number 2, inbox the answers to the questions that will be asked on today's show. I'm going to have Demetria put them in the feed. And then your answer should be submitted to me by this evening. How about we say 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time? Okay. And then you can tune in. I guess she's telling me I'm going to do a live feed tomorrow. There'll be a drawing. That's what happens when you have an assistant. She instructs you what to do. I appreciate you. All right. So we'll announce the time that I'll do a live feed. So go ahead. And she's laughing on here. Go ahead and make sure that you look at the questions. You listen to the live feed from Friday, the special segment show with Malcolm Brown, and you will be eligible to win one of the 2 books. And we're doing this because, well, of course, I'm supporting him, encouraging this young man, but it's definitely something that you need to get. You need to get. You also need to get this book as well, Screaming from the Inside. The author sitting right behind me. Isn't she beautiful? And then this beautiful uh, publisher, author herself sitting next to me with all this knowledge on here. We appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Mildred says, I still carry my Bible. Oh, you do? Bless your heart. Yeah, electronic. Yours too heavy? She says, love to hear the pages turning. That's good. I get into that mode sometimes, but I don't carry the physical Bible with me all the time. Just honest, being transparent. Hello. All right. Hey, Mama Joyce. Dr. Joyce is on. Thank you for watching. Let's see. Now, y'all know an international award-winning author, all inspiring coach as well. Yes, she is, Mary Jackson. That's right. You pump her up. That's right. We do that. We encourage each other. You guys, this is a hot show today, and I'm looking over to my left. Oh my goodness, I wish you could see that. I wish you could see it. I don't know if YouTube can see it or not, but we're gonna actually take a break because we're gonna show us eating. I keep looking. No, just kidding. No, this is great. This is great. My 2 guests are here. Don't forget what they have coming up. Wait, you have an event coming up. Before I take this quick break, let me let her tell you about her event.
Absolutely. So it is the third annual APS Awards Gala. This is the event where I honor some of the industry's like best indies, right? And so the contest that we have at the top of the year, the award winners are going to be honored as well as different honorees. So we have like the award winning authors, and they come from 7 different states. So it's not just Chicago. Then we have our, what do I call them? The book review of the year recipients, which Mama Joyce was last year. This year, it is Thaddeus Perkins from Plainfield and Sir Walter Jones. And then we have I know we don't know him. And then we have like the authors that I published, and then MVPs, but there are going to be about 20 individuals that will be honored. And so it is Thursday, August 22nd. You still have time to get your tickets. They're only $40. You can get them from either Eventbrite, Facebook, or my website, www.weareaps.com. And it's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Croc Center in Chicago, which is 1250 West 119th Street.
Awesome. 2 days to remember in August, August 10th and August 22nd. Is that right? All right. So you guys, please support these beautiful young women. They are actually out there doing a great work, and I'm so excited for them. And I'm gonna do as much as I can to push and promote you guys. I'm so glad you guys are on here today with me. Of course. We're not gonna end the show, but we're gonna take a break. I would love to see if my producer can play that last spoken word by Elder McGee. This will the first one. Did you guys hear the first spoken word? This man, I'm telling you, I think he goes to sleep writing or wakes up with. I don't know, but the Lord anoints him. That first spoken word was in relation to it talked about our chef and talked about food. So this spoken word is going to kind of wrap up these two ladies and their works, if I could say. All right, so we want to take a listen to that. Let's I don't know how my producer wants to do, if wants to go right into it or play a song. It doesn't matter, but don't go away. You listen to My Body and Soul with Annette right here on Intellectual Radio.
Screaming from the inside, even while on the outside everything looks fine, putting on a front to mask what the inside had to go through. And though there is a residue called memory, you are determined not to let the residue have a hold on you. So now you are on a mission to empower through literary work and education to facilitate experience derived wisdom, helping others to pen their journeys for all posterity to assimilate into their intellectual minds, spanning thoughts, subject matters. You are the beacon that points the way so that they may know how to the process of developing their story. And in doing so, the screams from the inside can be liberated through literature where we can all hear your voice, feel your heart, and finally kiss your soul. You make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. I got to run and tell it. Can't keep it to myself. You make me feel so. You make me feel so good.
And we're here on Intellectual Radio. We have featured our
function, but we figured it out.
see, that's because he's professional. He knows what to do. All right.
The line cook experience for sure. The restaurant experience for sure. Yeah.
All right. He told me, don't worry about it. I got it. I said, okay. I'm gonna go back and sit down. And I did. All right, this is great stuff here. So I want you to tell everybody what you are going to um, allow us to eat today, serve to the people. Let's see here. I'll get to your comments in a second. I'm going to let him talk about what we have on today.
So I made a like a buttermilk battered or buttermilk marinated fried chicken sandwich. So I dredged it with some flour, a little bit of cornstarch for some crunch. In that flour, it was some smoked paprika, some salt, smoked garlic, and things like that. So then for the bun, is a brioche bun. At the bottom, it's a cabbage and jalapeno slaw, and then the actual chicken sandwich, a little bit of spice rub with some brown sugar, and then I finished it with a hot sauce honey butter. So
Hot sauce honey butter. This is a creation you came up with yourself?
yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. Yes. Mhm.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. All right. Mmm. Yummy, yummy. Y'all ready? Y'all ready over there? Yep. Did you see hear the way she answered me? Okay. They've been so quiet. Yes, I'm ready. I have been I was interviewing the two ladies and I kept eyeing over here at the food. I'm just gonna be honest. I was watching. I was watching. Okay, so we're gonna partake in this. I don't know. You want me to hand them out or
Yeah, we can hand them out.
okay?
They're gonna be a bit. I'm gonna be y'all some paper. Gonna be a bit
It's okay.
not
They'll need paper
messy, but they'll
towels.
need paper.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see here. Janine, Elder McGee, two beautiful ladies over there. You carry it to them. All right. All right. Got it. All right. And so you have. Oh, that's okay. I can deal with messy. I'll just clean the dress if it's something that gets on. I'm just kidding. So you have one left. I don't. Our producer can have this, Mr. Earl. Come on, show yourself, Earl. He moved. Okay, because they're actually big guys. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Yeah, you can. All right, that's our super producer. Did y'all see him? Contact Earl, the other Winfrey. Okay, this is good, guys. Are you? I mean, you can partake for another 30 minutes. Okay, go ahead and partake. We want to see what your thoughts are. Janine, you cannot be shy back there. Look, Annette is going to. I'm gonna ask him to hold. Yes, could you? Okay. While he's doing that, he's gonna give me a knife. I'm going to read some of these comments on here. Let's see. Brandy says Oh, okay. I see. You missed it today because you had a great conference, photography conference. Thank you for joining us, though. Let's see here. Who else did I miss? So y'all just gonna eat good in front of us. Yes. What are we supposed to do? You're supposed to watch us eat. El McGee says time to eat. Okay, you must get back to work. Thank you for joining us, buddy. We appreciate you on today. Yes, Annette is a foodie for sure. She is always ready to eat. That is so true. Yeah, Earl is the best. He is the best. That's a good brother right there. All right, so let's see here. Nothing else. I can grab my sandwich now. I do appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep the live feed going. Who's on a diet? Yeah, seafood. I'm gonna see the food and eat it. hmm Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Chef, will you want to talk to us about anything? You want to kind of give a summary or talk to us about anything else that while I partake in this little piece of.
Good. I think I'm good. Just if you can follow my Instagram, that's where all my food creations are. It's Cookwood P on Instagram, and yeah, working on the website soon, and I hope to get that food truck out within the next 4 to 5 months. So we'll be mobile then. So
Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my God, this is so good. You know what? I'm gonna ask you all to talk about how you feeling, but this what you call at the bottom of it? The slaw?
it's the slaw, yeah. So cilantro, some purple cabbage, and some jalapenos.
Okay, because all of this is fusing in together, and it's just like so delicious. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm trying to get myself together here. Now, this is going to be on a food truck. Is that right?
Correct. So what hoping about October, I'm gonna have a pop up that's gonna showcase these these chicken sandwiches. So I'm working with a couple cafes that will allow me to do to come in their kitchen to take over their kitchen for a day to showcase those. So I'll have that up on my social media within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. And so Instagram, again, what's your Instagram handle? Is that how I say it?
It's a Cookwood P, COOKWOODP.
Cookwood P. And he is, we follow each other on Instagram. So you guys make sure you look him up. This sandwich is so good. I am really trying to, be professional and, eat. But this is tasty. I'm actually seeing a lot of food trucks pop up now. And, I guess that's a big convenience for people, as opposed to, okay, I got to stop and get out my car and go, whatever. Of course, you have drive-throughs or whatever. But what do you think that your food truck will bring? What kind of flair? What difference do you think your food truck will make?
So when I cook for individuals, a lot of the compliments, a lot of the feedback that I get back from them is just it's just a good home cooked meal. Like it isn't. I mean, you can go to a restaurant, you get a good meal at a restaurant, but I think there's something very, very unique and very, very good about a meal that's cooked, in your home. So that food truck and whatever other opportunities that I'm going to have, I'm going to make sure that I try to emulate that every time that I cook. So like a good home cooked meal, that Sunday meal is what I grew up on. I'm sure a lot of you all grew up on as well. So I'm going to try to put that on every plate that I put out.
Okay. All right. So with the food truck, are you just gonna have like sandwiches, or you talking about like, or you don't know yet? You kind of figuring all this out at this point?
It's gonna be a combination of a lot of things. So sandwiches for sure. A lot of like shrimp and grits. It's a really really big hit of mine. I wish I could have had a time to do it, but
Me too.
but I really want to showcase that. But shrimp and grits. I love a good piece of salmon. So it's gonna be a couple of different things. My partner and I were going over the menus and things like that. So it's gonna be small, but it's gonna be very 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 big. So.
Okay. All right. So on the whole, how long does it take to make this sandwich?
About 8 to 10 minutes, so not long at all. I made 6 of them today, and we had a little malfunction, which took me a little longer. But so very very quick. Yeah, about 8 to 10 minutes to fry the sandwich, and maybe about 25 minutes total to get everything together. So
Okay. So you probably already have like all your seasons and stuff prepped and.
yeah. So I did that. I did that before I got here and things like that, and I made the slaw before I got here. So just to expedite the time, we just fried the chicken sandwiches here tonight. But today, I should say.
I really wish you guys could taste this. I really do. But I'm just gonna taste it for you. Okay. And just trust that it's that it's really good. Just trust that it's good. Let me hop on here. Are you guys putting your comments? You that are you tell us how it tastes. Let's see. Shanar says, I wish you well, chef. God bless your business. Beautiful. Thank you for that. And let's see, Janine, who is here, she says, thanks, Annette, for inviting me to this show. The sandwich is delicious. Yummy. I had to read all of her comment. She is so hilarious. But I thank her for coming with us on today. DeMark Adams is on. Thanks for watching. DeMark is a chef in his own right. He makes some good food too. So it's great for you to connect. I think I saw another chef on here. My other cousin, Eric Teverball, is also on. So thanks you guys for watching on today. And let's see. Okay. Oh, Demetra, thank you. I appreciate it. She's putting in, and let me see if I can pin this comment. She is putting in the questions that you should be able to answer if you want to receive a free copy of Malcolm Brown's 10 Miles to Your Destiny book. Okay, so look in the comment section for the questions, and then inbox me before midnight tonight, okay? So that we will make sure we put you in the ballot, and we'll kind of do a little pulling on tomorrow, drawing, so that we will get you this wonderful book that I think you should have. What do you want to tell my listeners as a takeaway? I know we've said we want to contact you. What you want to tell me anything about food, about anything comes to your mind?
You know what? This journey for cooking, it started off, you know, I started later in my life. I was out of college. I was, living on my own and things like that. So I was working a job that I just had no desire or no passion about. So I would just like to say, like, just follow your dreams, and you just never know where life will take you if you do that. So just never give up on what makes you happy, and just life is short, and just enjoy it. So.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was good. I enjoyed that. And it goes in line with what we were talking about with the ladies as well.
You guys follow your dreams, follow your passions, write that book. Is that good, Tanil? You put your comment out here. Okay, let me see what Elder McGee said. The food has an effervescent flavor. He is so Elder McGee. He has done a perfect job with the seasonings. It's not overpowering, but very subtle. I agree. I can see this married with garlic roasted potatoes and maybe some baked beans. Job well done. I need another one. You know what? Too funny. The food is Pamela. She said it looks good. I don't know. Did Wanda or Earl get a chance to taste the food? I, okay. All right. I think I will do that. I think I have my. It's long enough. So we're going to talk to each of the people. So let me see if we can get their comments. Sorry, Janine. What do you think about the food?
Delicious. It's just simply delicious.
That's all you want to say? It's delicious. You want another one?
Yeah.
Elder McGee.
Well, you did a wonderful job. I love it. I need your card. I need your recipe. I need it all. I need another sandwich. I need a couple of more sandwiches. But it's wonderful. That would be awesome with a nice barbecue, hickory barbecue smoke. Oh, okay. But it's awesome. It's awesome, man. Kudos to you.
Actually, I'm going to give you a review later because I'm going to give it to my husband as I am not eating meat at this moment. But it smells so good. And if you knew my relationship with chicken, you will understand the pain I am in right now. But I know it's good. I know it is. I can smell it. I have to concur and confirm it is. It is very good. And I am not even a huge lover of chicken breast. Like I love chicken, but not chicken breast. This is probably the most flavorful piece of chicken. And I really don't even like fried chicken. Okay. I mostly eat baked chicken or grilled chicken. This is one of the most flavorful pieces of chicken. And the combination that you did with all of the different seasonings and the cilantro on the like now I have to go home and try cilantro. I've never put cilantro. I never thought about cilantro and the sauce. Everything just works very well together. Very well.
Great, great, great. Well, thank you for those reviews, guys. What you think about that, Chef?
I'm humble. I'm humble for sure, and just I mean, just I can say just thank y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you.
He's made our tummies happy on today. My tummy's happy. Oh no. Okay. Make sure you support these individuals that I've had on today. Oh, I'm seeing a comment from Wanda. She says this sandwich is delicious. Not too spicy, nice blend of seasonings, and the cilantro is such a good taste that isn't common. I agree. That's good. Yeah. I would probably say the same thing. It is this food is so good. I love how you brought everything out with the seasonings. And then yeah, the cilantro. Cilantro can work wonders. Okay. Okay. We're finding that out. Okay. All right, we're gonna let him clean up. And do you have any events coming up?
Not as of right now, but like I said, we're working on that fried chicken pop up and that food truck within the next couple of months. So I'll keep everyone updated via social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the food pop up is separate from the
Correct.
the
Yeah.
food. Okay. All right, great, great. So you guys make sure you watch out for him. And remember he was on Mind Body. Don't forget about the little people when you get big, okay? Remember he was on Mind Body and Soul. Coming in, taking time. We do appreciate you for taking time out and putting everything together and just making us happy on today. I have cards, guys.
Sure.
I have
Sure.
cards for his company. Wood is cooking. I love that. Wood is cooking. Porter, excuse me, private chef. Hashtag Wood is cooking. Private chef company, and he's got the. Is that your email?
Yeah. Email and then
Info at
events.
woodscooking.com. Okay, and then IG Cookwood P. All right, you guys. Oh, nice, very nice. See that? I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Very nice card. So I'm gonna pass these around so you guys can make sure. I'm sure you probably have events coming up that you need a chef or a caterer. What do you prefer, chef or caterer?
It doesn't really matter, honestly. We all the same thing.
Some people get particular.
You know,
You know,
they could, but at the end of the day, you putting food on the plate. So I mean, let's not get caught up in titles. So
he's so humble. He's so humble. I don't know if you guys caught earlier how he said we met. We got to talk. Wanda's laughing at me, and we got to talking. And I just, that's just how I am, I guess. Y'all know I'm really shy. Anyway, but we got, we got, we're just having a good old time right now. But seriously, we just got to talking, and he told me what he does, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have you on my show. And he was like, sure. He immediately said, yeah. And so then we got everything together. And so he's here today. So I'm so excited. Number one, that you consented. And then again, that you came in and took time out to make us happy. And, definitely we want to get this word out. You guys need to contact this young man. If you're looking for someone to put some food on your table. Okay. This is going to be great. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody else here because we're going to get out of here. I need to finish my sandwich. I want to make a happy plate. Okay. And no, you cannot finish it for me. Thank you again, Elder McGee. Appreciate you, Janine, for coming in. I had a little studio audience today. We did something a little different today. Kamitra's Hunt, Screaming from the Inside. And, that's the name of her book. Okay. And then go to Zulon Publishing, XULON Publishing.com. And then also to Neil Jackson, our award-winning international and national author, publisher, APS International. You guys check these individuals out. Make sure you support, promote them. Let's do that with each other. Let's hold each other up, encourage one another in the different veins that we're going in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get out of here next week. I get a reprieve this week. I don't have a show on Friday. Last couple of weeks I've been doing Wednesday and Friday. But that's okay. I love what I do. Next week we'll be back, and I actually probably have to look to see who my guest is next week. I'm booked through September, so I need to see who I have. So please do. Okay, thank you. You guys will see my posts. You'll follow me. Huge shout out to Demetria Brand Triplet for helping me and keeping me in order and in line. My assistant, she's such a beautiful woman of God, and she's there to help and to encourage me. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Wanda. Appreciate your help on today. We're going to get out of here. And what do I always tell you? Until next time, I want you to soar and get caught up with ANet. Take care.
Get caught in a net with ANet. For your mind, body, and soul gets caught in a net with ANet. It's your intellectual radio show, here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net.